All right, music fans and pop culture fans and just people in general, welcome Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel with some sad news today for people who are about my age. And just talking about this because I want to in real time for a few real people like you and me. So, Norm or George Wendt has passed away, and people are bummed, man. I'm just, this is sad news. One of my favorite television shows of all time. I've watched every episode at least twice, maybe three times. Um, they're not making characters like George Wendt and actors like George Wendt anymore. They're just not. Tributes have been pouring in as the man who is known as Norm Peterson died at age 76. Ted Danson, who played Sam Malone, said he was devastated to hear that Georgie is no longer with us. Kelsey Grammer, who played Fraser Crane and has had a long spin-off of his own show, off and on, says, I believe mourning is a private matter, but I liked George a lot. He was beloved by millions. This is a guy who sat on a bar stool and had some of the great comebacks when he was walking into the bar. I think there's a highlight reel of all of his retorts at, how's it going, Norm? You know, and he'd be like, not so good until I get a beer. I mean, I'm just generalizing, but he always had some great lines. Of course, they were written for him, but still, he delivered the lines, and he was such an endearing character on television. And everybody who knew George Wendt liked him. I saw him in a couple of Cheers reunions where they sit around, they talk about the show, and he's always funny, and he's just self-effacing and so forth. And you're not gonna have a lot of this in the future, I don't think. Now, George Wendt starred in all 275 episodes of Cheers, which ran from 1982 to 1993. He earned 6 consecutive Emmy nominations for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series. The actor and comedian died peacefully in his sleep at home on Tuesday morning, his family said. Doesn't really say if he was suffering from anything, and I'm not going to go there in this video. Obviously, he wasn't the healthiest and fittest person. I mean, his character drank a lot of beer, and I'm thinking that maybe in real life, George liked to have a beer or two. At one point in an interview on Fox News, he said that beer had been very good to him. So it says here, George was a doting family man, a well-loved friend and confidant to all those lucky enough to have known him. He will be missed forever. That's true. So he gets the label as the sweetest, kindest man. This is a show with such great characters. Christy Alley, who passed away a couple of years ago, Rhea Perlman, Kelsey Grammer, obviously, Ted Danson, and the great John Ratzenberger. A lot of different personalities and different politics, too. Ted being kind of the liberal of the group, and Kelsey and John more conservative. Norm, I'm not really sure about. I'm not sure with Rhea Perlman. Christy Alley really got awake toward the end of her life, and she understood what was going on in the world, and she was posting quite a bit on social media prior to her kind of strange passing, I will say. I didn't really dig too much into that, but that just seemed kind of weird and abrupt. But in any event, that's it. I just wanted to say some kind words about George Wendt, Norm Peterson. Just such a great character and a television show I've watched over and over again, and I'll continue to watch it over and over again because it's funny no matter how many times you watch it. And Cheers really, for me, just epitomizes a better time in the world in general. And because the show isn't overtly political and doesn't have a lot of references to politics, and when it does, it's typically like Cliff and Norm talking, and Cliff not making any sense, and then maybe Norm not making any sense. But it doesn't matter in the larger scheme of things because the show is just really funny, and people were different in those days. They just were. People got along even if they didn't agree necessarily when it came to politics. Politics was almost like, hey, I go in the voting booth and I vote, and that's it. People don't have to know, or I'm not going to go out there and like say crazy things. Of course, Woody Harrelson had some strange views for a while. I think now Woody is kind of a conspiracy theorist, right? He's gotten on board the conspiracy train. So I'd love to talk to Woody Harrelson about his views on life and also on his relationship with the various cast members in Cheers. I don't think he'll come on the show here, but Hollywood actors, it's one thing you get some musicians to show up, but Hollywood actors, probably never. So I'm fine with that. I'm just an observer. And I've observed that this show was amazing, and George Wendt was one of the great television characters of all time. So rest in peace, George Wendt. My prayers go out to all his family and friends and the people that worked with him, as this is probably kind of tough for those people. And at least we have those reruns that are running round the clock. I think you can watch Pluto TV and watch Cheers and Frasier. I think they have a channel devoted to those two shows, and that's a good way to watch TV if you're going to waste some time doing that. All right, folks, it's me, Dave. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, Patreon, buy me a coffee, YouTube memberships, and PJ Rock Super Chats. And I'll be back. Oh, by the way, I was going to talk about the shirt since it's kind of loud. I'm wearing the shirt in honor of Mickey Thomas and Knee Deep in the Hoopla. All right? So there you have it. I'll be talking about that album later this year, kind of pushing back against the narrative that it's the worst music ever made. That's a load of crap. It's a bunch of people who don't like melodic music that don't enjoy it. The album was meticulously written and produced, and you know what? Grace Slick doesn't like it. Maybe she should give back some of that money she made.